Here we are again, another day. No hat today. And I'm in my car, so there's only me allowed in my car, apart from my pupils. So my family aren't even allowed in it technically, because of the spread of COVID and things like that. Um, and I have got a badge. I can teach um, key workers. At the moment, I've got one, and the restrictions are so strict that it's probably the only one that I will teach. So it's what we have to live with. My car is fully disinfected and everything. I follow all the guidelines, and as I was doing before the lockdown. I was thinking like last night, and I was thinking back to the old days, and when I was a student and coming out of being a student, we used to go to a pub called the Red Lion, and if anybody who knows me and was around that time, they were golden years. They were really good. What was special about the Red Line was it was the kind of pub where you would go in, and the mix of people was so eclectic, and the jukebox as well. And you could discuss anything you wanted to discuss. And it was a sort of pub where debates would rage around the pub, sometimes quite heated. But you really got a slice of lots of different opinions and lots of different viewpoints. And what was really good about it was that no matter how hard the debate was and how heated the debate got, it was always settled over a pint. So we'd all be best friends by the end of the night. Nobody would fall out each other, or certainly not permanently. So we'd all go home. We'd have pasty and chips on the way home, and we'd all go back the night after, and we'd start all over again. The art of debate really has disappeared in recent years, and it's been disappearing, and part of that is because of the technology that we now have, and also the way the governments and the media use that technology as a way of trying to influence opinion and trying to get people on their side and to see their point of view. So we've lost the idea that we can put a statement forward and then back it up with a sensible, reasonable argument, or an argument from a certain viewpoint. And then that argument can be contested from somebody else's viewpoint and with information that another person has got, which is different to the information that you had originally. And by doing that, what happens is the two parties come together, or however many parties are involved, they come together, and there's always a middle ground. There's always a middle ground. And it might not change anybody's opinion or beliefs or how they vote or how they think, but what it will do is it'll give them a better understanding of why other people think differently to the way they think. So, and we're seeing it at the moment. I mean, we've seen it with Brexit. We've seen it with elections, both in America and here, and across Europe as well, where social media becomes a battleground because it's all one-liners. So it's, I support this. Well, you're an idiot. Well, you're an idiot too. Well, I support this. And what it does is it polarizes people. So we end up with two extremes fighting each other. When actually, if you look at the two arguments, they're probably quite similar in what they believe, but they've been polarized by this resistance, if you like, to want to actually investigate what the other person thinks and where they come from. But there is a light on the horizon, because we've started to rise above people's fear in some ways, because let's face it, this whole situation has been brought about by fear, and yes, there is a serious situation that needs dealing with, but fear is what's really dictating the way that we behave en masse, if you like, and the way we're thinking. But as we're starting to come out of the fear a little bit, as we're getting a more understanding of the situation, there are debates starting to happen, and reasonable debate and sensible debate. The reason why we weren't allowed to group in threes because we couldn't socially distance and I didn't want to spread the virus and all the rest. The downside to that is it means that we can't meet and discuss things. That's been taken away from us. So social media is the only outlet we've got, and as I've said, it can be quite an explosive place to be. But the more we start to understand other people's points of views and not just dismiss them, and the more we ask about that point of view and research that point of view, then the more understanding we can get and realise that this situation isn't going to be resolved by one extreme or the other. It's going to be a middle ground somewhere where we accept some of the things that we don't want to accept. But then also we know clearly what it is that we would like to happen to go forward, so that we do it in a positive way that benefits the whole community and not small sections of it. So the art of debate. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to think that you might be wrong. Okay, you might find that after asking the questions you find out actually you were right in the first place. That's debate. It's the way it works. So, and if we get a better understanding of each other, we'll get a better society in the end, in the long run, out of it.